These are my 5 favorite stretches for your back pain. If you're a golfer, you've likely had back pain at one point. 40% of golfers get back pain. So these stretches are a great tool for you to do before you play, before you practice, to make sure you're mobile, to make sure you're stabilizing the spine in the correct way, and trying to play golf comfortably as long as you can. So with that being said, we're going to stretch different body parts here. We're not going to purely focus on the back. I'm a big believer in the back is typically where it's sore, but it's not typically where the issues lie. Quite a lot I'll see with my clients that they've got really limited spinal rotation from the thoracic area, or really poor hip internal rotation. With that being said, there's a direct correlation in one study that showed poor left hip internal rotation and then right-sided back pain for right-handed golfers. Obviously, if you're a left-hander, vice versa. So let's start off with our hips first. So we're going to go into a basic hip flexion stretch here. What we're trying to do is keep our spine in neutral tilt. We're not arching, we're trying to keep tension on our hip flexor, which goes between our L5 here, also our L1 here, and also down into the top of our hip. So we're trying to keep that neutral bend. From side on, again, we're trying to keep that neutral tilt. And if you find that's not stretching, lean further forward, and then also we can add in a side bend. So we're stretching our obliques here at the same time. This is a great way of opening up this hip space on the front here. What we're going to go into next is a hip 90-90 stretch. This is one of my absolute favorites for back pain. I do it every day before I play golf without fail. So we're going into a 90-90 position. We've got a right angle here, and we've also got a right angle in the back leg. So we're going to lean forward, and we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. As I'm doing this, you can notice how my posture is staying up tall. If I lose this posture, I'm going to lose tension with the stretch. So as I'm doing this, I'm gently pushing my right foot into the ground. This is going to activate my outer quad, and it's also going to activate my gluteus maximus. That's the main muscle we're trying to stretch here. So after 30 seconds, we're going to shift back onto the left leg. So what we're doing here, again, we're trying to load up the inside of the foot. So for this one here, we're pushing down. I should feel a stretch on the outside of the hip here. So we're looking at your hip flexor. You might feel it a little bit in your quad. You might feel it slightly in your glute if you're tight there. Also with these two stretches, you can add some easy progressions in. So if you're feeling this isn't stretching much, you can then lean forward and pick up the foot here. So that's going to really start to work my hip internal rotator muscles. I'm trying to strengthen my hip flexors in this point, and it's a great stretch to add in. If I'm going onto my lead foot as a progression, I'm going to try and pick up the foot here. So again, I'm trying to add in external rotation for this hip. If you find that too hard, you can lean back. And again, add in that external rotation. This is a great way of building mobility, stability, and strength into your hips. The 3 S's, which are very important to have in your golf swing. So building on from that, we've looked at the hips. Let's look at the upper back, and then we'll get to the lower back, the peak in the middle at the end. So upper back stretches. One of my favorites is called the open book. So we're going to use a roller. You don't need one for this, but for me, I'll go through it anyhow. So what we're doing, knees bent at 45 degrees, and we're trying to keep our hips locked. If we're rotating with our hips too much, we're going to lose tension with the thoracic spine. And that's what we're trying to do. We're targeting that area, so we want to focus really hard on that area. So I've got my neck supported here with my other hand. I'm rolling forward. I'm pushing my thoracic spine as far as I can, and I'm leaning down towards the ground. I'm then going to pull back, and my right elbow is going towards the ground here. So my goal is trying to get my right shoulder blade towards the ground. And from here, I'm going to add in some exhalations and inhalations. So we're going in and out, again, 30 seconds, back and forth with this stretch. Just slowly going side to side here. So from another view, we're going into our forward phase. Neck's relaxed. And then we're going into our rotation phase here. Keeping my hips still, targeting the thoracic spine. So a great stretch to add in for the upper back. Next one we're going into is called the X Factor stretch. This is possibly my favorite stretch for golf. It's a tough one between my 90-90 hip stretches and this one. But if you're a client of mine, you've probably got it in your program already. Also, just a quick note, if you want my free mobility program through my custom fitness app, go to my website, www.golfphysiotherapyaustralia.com. You can find it there. You get 2 weeks of free access. There's exercises every day. You can log your workouts. You can chat with me there. So make sure you jump onto it. So let's get set up here. So we've got 90 degrees with the leg. Top leg is going to be straightened out. So that's going to stretch our hip flexor to start with. You're going to notice with this stretch, you're getting a 3-for-1. We've got hip extension, we've got hip external rotation here, and we're getting thoracic rotation, and then we're getting also some shoulder extension and flexion there. So it's really a 4-for-1. So it's a great stretch, and this is why I love it. So we're going to slowly lean down into the roller. You can probably hear my back click there. So I'm going to reach out as far as I can. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to reach out on a diagonal angle. So I'll flip around here. So I'm reaching out on a diagonal angle, trying to really lengthen out as far as I can. So with that stretch, you hold for 30 seconds. And again, you're going to target many different areas. So make sure you get that one done because I think it's really important. And if you think about your impact position in golf, that's what we're doing, right? We're rotating, our chest is clearing, our arms extending in our follow through, and that's why it's so specific for golf. So you're going to love that one. So the last one, we're getting to the piggy in the middle. So what we're going to do is a lumbar rotation in prone. So prone means face down. So what we're going to do is have our arms rested around our chin. We're going to rotate. We're going to extend the back. Excuse that foam roller there. So we're trying to keep our top half pretty stable. My chest is staying still, so I'm creating some force around the back. So chest staying still, extension, rotation. What I don't want to see is a big lift off. So again, we'll try that from face on here. Chest staying still, extension, rotation, and then we'll alternate. So a great drill for the lumbar rotation and extension. If you find that too hard, try a cobra stretch. Just pushing up, keeping the hips on the floor, and trying to slowly stretch. Gradually getting higher and higher with your arms. So there you go. There's my 5 favorite golf fitness stretches for your back. Give those a go. Like I said, go to my website, www.golfphysiotherapyaustralia.com. You're going to find my free guide there. You're going to love it. I've had over 1,000 people go through it from all over the world. Check it out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.